Greetings one and all, this is Lloyd Brown and welcome social media family to Lloyd Brown Music. And on today's episode of Plugin of the Week, I want to feature a plugin developed by the guys at Martinic, namely the AX73. Now they reached out to me a few days ago asking me would I like to review their brand new plugin, and I said of course I would be glad to. Now I've reviewed their suite of plugins on a previous video which will be placed up in the card in the top right hand corner of the screen, so you can watch at your leisure. I will say at this point and be very transparent about it, I have not been sponsored by Martinic in any way, shape or form, so I have complete freedom as to giving my opinions as to what I think about the plugin. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. Lloyd Brown Plugin of the Week. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, in Martinic's website, and we are at the AX73 section of the website. Now apparently this AX73 was modeled after the Akai AX73, which I'm going to be transparent and say I had no familiarity with that synthesizer at all. I think you can literally count the amount of synth that has been around me in my career, and two of which is the DX7 and also the Korg Triton. Those were basically the two workhorse go-to synths that I've been working around or with via my band and via studio sessions and stuff like that. So the AX73 was basically the one that was way under my radar. So here we have it, and I don't think I can really explain the circuitries and the inner workings any better than these guys. I mean, Martinic has been very thorough in the emulation of their instruments, and they have a technology which is called the advanced circuitry emulation. That basically means they've gone in deep. They've gone into every piece of circuitry within the instrument and tried to emulate that as best way as possible. And not only that, they've actually added some extras as well. Just to give a little blurb on it right here. In 1986, the synth skies were studied with digital technology. That's why the original AX73, with its proudly all analog signal path, ended up flying under the radar. Martinic has taken what was great about the original AX73 and elevated it into a powerful, flexible software instrument that fits right into the modern producer's lineup of go-to synths. With 4 analog oscillators across 2 synth layers, unique modulation features, extended performance options, and an 8-module effects section, this plugin unleashes the full power of the original hardware and more. No menu diving required, and all perfectly modeled through our advanced circuitry emulation technology. And it includes a generous lineup of 600 inspiring presets to get you started right away. Now, that's pretty much basically what it is, but it's much deeper than that. To demonstrate how deep it is, we've got one set of presets which was added to the instrument, made by none other than Dr. Mix. Now Dr. Mix is basically a synthesizer guru. He's been on the radar with me for quite a long time, but it wasn't until his workings alongside the one and only Dom Segalas, who I consider to be one of the great Cubase tutors out there, that he really basically caught my attention in relation to synthesizers. Now, like I said, my knowledge of synthesizers were very limited back in the day. My appreciation of the synthesizer wasn't really that full because of the fact that I associated synthesizers with prog rock, and that being a genre that I wasn't really into at the time, I had no leanings towards it. But it wasn't until I actually started hearing the Wailers' Catch a Fire album and Bob Marley and the Wailers' Exodus album that I realized the power of the synthesizer within reggae tracks, that was made at that time. So yeah, so it slowly started building my interest into synthesizers right up to the present day. So as you can see here, Dr. Mix has basically got some presets made specifically for the AX73, so you can check out that video. I will put a link in the description box below, and below that you have got more or less the interface as you see here, which is not the main interface. The main interface is literally this image right here. which I do like because it's got like that, you know, singer-songwriter kind of vibe about it. That's the main GUI. But if you go deeper into the settings page, well, this is the keys page, but if you go into the settings, this is what you're going to basically find in the settings. So the setting view offers a clean, easy to use set of parameters for quick editing. The keys view, which emulates the look of the original hardware, has also been upgraded with many more functions. No menu diving required. And the robust preset manager allows you to quickly save and sort your favorite presets into collections that you can easily export and share with friends. And they have a new effects section which is not in the original hardware. So you can process the synth's output with 8 built-in effects units: compressor, phaser, flanger, chorus, delay, reverb, distortion, and EQ. And like I said, these effects can be routed in any order you like. You can simply rearrange them by dragging and dropping them in the effects chain. Now, the best elements from other synth in the AX range has been distilled into a feature-rich reinterpretation of the AX73. Notable examples include extra chorus settings and the arpeggiator from the AX60, a second VCO and sub-oscillator from the AX80, and an extended VCO octave range down to 32, as seen in both the AX60 and 80. The AX73 plugin also offers far greater modulation capabilities than the original. It features 4 envelopes per layer, 3 of which are assignable, and 4 assignable LFOs per layer, taking both layers into account. This gives a formidable 8 envelopes and 8 LFOs. Uniquely, the AX73 has 2 layers that can be split across the keyboard, allowing you to play 2 patches simultaneously or stacked, providing an extra dimension of sound design, and each layer has its own independent arpeggiator with 11 built-in modes, including some unusual modes such as shuffle and improv that you can use to quickly create melodies. So this thing is a beast in terms of feature. It has features up the wazoo. Lots of features you can implement in sound design, and also the presets are not too bad either, so you can literally just basically play them out of the box if you want to. But if you want to go deep into the sound design realms, you can do so with great ease. And I think that this instrument is going to be a go-to for a lot of people, because it has a lot of features that a lot of its counterparts do have. But I think with this one, I think it makes it even more easier, to be honest with you. I mean, looking at the interface, yes, it's no Vital, it's no Serum, but at the same time, you know, some people are a bit overwhelmed by even that, you know what I'm saying? Even though for some people that is a easy instrument to operate. But with a lot of instruments that has so many presets made for that instrument, sound design, you can take it or leave it, because there are so much presets on offer, free and paid, you know what I'm saying? So I personally think that this is definitely worth investigating. Scrolling down, they have got a section of tutorial and tips, which you can basically play on their playlist right here. There's audio demos, and it has some blurb in relation to the sound designers. So there's 3 sound designers that has designed the sounds for the original plugin, but you also have I think it's the Legacy. Yeah, you have the Legacy collection, which is included with the AX73, and you also have the Dr. Mix collection, which is included with the AX73 also. So there's a gazillion presets for you to pick and choose from. And with the tutorials and tips videos that you have here, and also a review from Dr. Mix himself, will definitely put you in the zone. Now you can download the manual, I think. Where is it? All right, yeah, here it is. So if you go on the manual section here, you can actually download the manual, and I've done that earlier, so you can see that this is the manual, and there you go. There's a ton of information that you can access in relation to the plugin, and it's very, very, very thorough. I couldn't even begin to go through each section with you. It will probably take 4 hours to be in depth with it. But that's what manuals are for. Some people like manuals, some people don't. Some people like to just kind of get used to the controls themselves. But for me personally, I'm kind of both sides of the fence. Some plugins I just like to just get my hands dirty and figure it out for myself, but some you really need to kind of read the manual just to get the basics done, so you can kind of work the machine, work the plugin in your own time, in your own way. So here is the online manual, but you can download the manual here, and I will tell you for free that the manual, as we see here, is 54 pages thick. All right, so there's a lot, there's a whole lot. All right, so basically it's the same thing, so you can download the manual at your own leisure and take it in at your own leisure. So that is the web-based part of the Martinic AX73. So let's get into some practical uses of the AX73. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are at the interface of the Martinic AX73, the Akai AX73 emulation. And I must say that Martinic has done a really good job with it. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't gonna front. It's a deep dive into the plugin, but once you get into it, it's very intuitive after a while, because it does kind of hold your hands in certain regards as to the configuration and the control system. But there is an advanced section of this plugin that I'm not even going to try and attempt to even bring to you all. All right, that's just something between you and the manual and your implementation of the plugin itself. All right, but for now I'm just going to go into the three visuals of the plugin, which is first of all the keys, as you can see here, which to me has a very aesthetically pleasing singer-songwriter vibe about it. It has a control system here, which is more or less duplicated in the settings section. Blam, right here. Moving on from that, we have got the preset section, which is basically divided up into the presets that you created, the favorite presets, the collection by Dr. Mix, and the legacy collection. Believe me when I tell you, there is a ton of presets right here. So let me just pick one or two just to give you a flavor as to what this thing can do. So I can actually go into the tags and press lead. There you go. Where lead is basically there. If you want an arpeggiator, bass, brass, you literally just click on the tag and it will filter it down to you to the selected sounds that are associated with the tag. All right, so let's just play where lead for a little bit. Very nice indeed. All right, I won't go into too much. Okay, so let's look for a bass sound here. So if I click on here, it will give you all the basses that are basically on offer. Human League bass. No, let's go into garage bass. Rewind. Yeah, that's definitely got a garage bass vibe to it. All right, so that's just a couple of the sounds that are on offer within the presets itself. Okay, so if I click on template, default will basically be there. So I'll click onto default, and the default should sound a little something like this. That's pretty much the sound you're going to get out of the default. All right, so on the interface, there is an interesting feature right here, which is the MIDI learn feature. So all you need to do, if you want to assign any button on your controller to any button on here, all you have to do is just basically just click on here, and then all the buttons will basically come up in purple. So these purple colored knobs are basically available for you to assign to a MIDI controller. And once you've assigned the button, it will turn green. So let's just say I want to assign the level button here. So I'm going to turn that, and there you go. All right. So that's already assigned. So if I want to unlearn it now, I'll just literally just right click it and it will go back to purple. I'm turning it now and it's not affecting that level button. All right, so that's the MIDI learn section of it. I'm going to go into a couple of features. I'm not going to go too deep into the features, but just the basic features that will get you started in terms of your sound design. First of all, we've got the VCOs, which is basically the oscillators, and it determines the oscillator pitch. So you got the octave, the offset, and the detune, and you got the wave that you can select there as well. So let's just play a C note. Now, when you hover over each section or each control, it actually tells you what it is. All right, so you got the VCO waveform, you got the detune, the offset, the octave, and all those that are basically initialized, it will tell you what they stand for. So all the acronyms that you see here. So the PW is the pulse width. So I can increase the width. And with this is the pulse width modulation speed. So I can alter the sound like this. Okay, and on this will give me a bass oscillator underneath all of that as well. So we'll click on that and play the note. All right, so we can put noise on it and we can blend in the noise to taste. So let's hear how it sounds now. And let's bring up the noise mix. Okay, so let's bring that down, take the noise off. And next to that, we have got the bend range, and this is for the pitch bend. Let me just play the C and bend it. Okay, so let's just increase the bend a little bit more, up to like, yeah, up to 24. All right, let's see how we can work that. Wow, that's a huge bend, right? So let's just bring it down to 12. Okay, see how that sounds. All right, so next to that, we have got VCF bend range. Okay, so there's variations there. All right, so underneath that, we have got the VCF, which is basically the filter section. Let's just have a look at this filter mode here. So we've got the frequency, we have got the resonance, and we got the modulation. These are the filter modes that we got here. Next to that, we have got the VCA, which is the oscillator level. So it's the pan, the width, the level, and the chorus. The LFOs are basically the low frequency oscillators. So you got basically 4 of them, which you can put on each layer. So in turn, I think you can put 8 layers of oscillators on there. Yeah, these are the different parameters in relation to that. Okay, and underneath that, we've got the arpeggiator, which is a nice bit of kit within it as well, which I do believe was not available in the AX73. I could be wrong, but here it is anyway. So let me just turn that on, and I'm going to play the C chord. And that's basically the straight mode. All right. That's the upward mode, which is no different. That's the downward mode. Okay, let's see what this mode is. I think it's up and down. Okay, and next to that, let's see if there's any more. Let's try that one. All right, let's see if there's any more. Rise. So there's quite a bit, there's quite a few. Wow. Okay, so basically I've just cycled through the whole lot, all right? And I think you can change the octave as well. 3, 4. So there's 4 octaves. Let's just try that. And you can sync that to your DAW by using that and the rate and the length of the arpeggiation. All right. Let's just go into the effects section, which I think is pretty neat as well. So let's just click onto that. Here are the effects, and they are the compressor, the chorus, flanger, phaser, delay, reverb, EQ, and distortion. Now, if I turn each one of these on, let's just turn the whole lot on, just to make a dog's dinner out of this, right? So here's the effects chain. Now, the neat thing I can do with the effects chain, I can literally just take the compressor and move it to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7th or 8th down the chain. If I want to take distortion, put it in 1, I can do that. Take reverb, put it into 3, I can do that. I can bypass any effects I want. For example, these 4. And I can just basically put them more closer to each other. And that's pretty much that. And I think personally that is more or less enough to kind of get you started. Like I said, there is so much in this plugin that I couldn't even begin to even get any deeper with that, because it would take me a long time to actually do. But I just wanted to show you the basics from a layman's perspective as to what you can do with this plugin. Basically, you can play multiple versions of the AX73 at the same time. This is how versatile this plugin is. I have to say, you know, even just looking at the plugin from a basic standpoint, I have to say I'm really impressed, because the guys at Martinic, they've more or less implemented 3 synths into the 1 synth, giving you so much versatility and customization within it. So yes, I do recommend this plugin at the price point that it is right about now. It is on sale at the time of recording, so I wouldn't really waste no time. I would cop this ASAP. So it's back to the studio. Now, if you are new to Martinic, I would highly urge you to check out their range of instruments. I've done reviews for them as well as this one I'm doing for you now. And if you go into their products page, you will find all of their line of instruments. You can basically buy them separate, or you can buy the retro pack, which features the 4 other plugins, which is the Lem Echo Music, the El Capantha, the key bass, and the scanner vibrato. Now the key bass you can actually get for free if you just want to try even one of their instruments. But the thing I like about all of these is that they all have a classic vintage feel about the instruments. So if you want to kind of go retro with certain sounds, with certain pieces of music, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with these at all. One of my favorite instruments is definitely the key bass. I think the key bass has got one of the roundest basses out there. But don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. You can get it free. Just get your license and just give it a tinkle and let me know. All right. So yeah, check those instruments out as well as the AX73. I will leave a link in the description below so you can check that out at your own leisure. So as you are aware, as to the comments that I made in video, I really do like this plugin a lot. Now we have to talk about the elephants in the room. Now synths are an instrument that are more or less saturating the plugin market right about now in music production, and the elephants in the room are namely Serum, Vital, Arturia Pigments, and also Arturia's synth collection, which are just a handful of widely used, highly revered, highly rated synths out there in the market. Now you have the classic synthesizers and you have the modern synthesizers, and each one has their place. But I appreciate it. I really do appreciate the virtues of sound design, and maybe that will be something that I will get into on a gradual vibe, on a gradual basis, simply because of the fact that with a lot of these synthesizers, especially with like Vital and Serum, there's a gazillion presets that are available for the synthesizers, free and paid. So from a personal standpoint, the desire for me to actually want to design sound kind of diminishes, because it's making it a little bit more convenient for me to simply plug, play, select a preset and modify the preset, call it my own. And the trend won't be any different for the AX73 either. So with that being said, as it stands right about now, it is a decent, versatile bit of kit, and this will have its place alongside its widely known bigger counterparts. Another reason why I wanted to mention especially Vital out of the set of synths out there in the marketplace is because Vital is out there for free. Now that doesn't take away anything from the AX73, because Vital does have a paid version where you can get more features on top of the free features that's available for the Vital package. With the AX73, I have to say that I think the price point is pretty good where it stands now. But don't take my word for it. You can take it for a test drive yourself. Just check out the Martinic website in the description box below, and you can take a look at all of the other instruments that they got on offer. They're pretty solid, you know, as far as plugins go. So take them out for a test drive. Take the AX73 on a test drive and let me know what you think. It's a thumbs up for me. It's worth the money at the price point it is right about now. I think for the introductory price that they're selling it for, I do think it is worth the investment. And this, ladies and gentlemen, the AX73 is my plugin of the week. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, you done know the coup. Like, subscribe, comment, and all of that lovely stuff. And until I link you on the next exciting installment of Lloyd Brown Music, people stay blessed. I'm out of here. Maganski. Laters. Lloyd Brown plugin of the week.